Okay, guys. I'll wait till I can actually see myself on the screen here. That way I know it's going. All right, I got a lot to go over. I'll wait till I can actually see myself on the screen. You guys could just do me a favor to start with. Josh, I see you're in here. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to kick you out. You're entitled to your opinion, but all right, I got a lot to go over. What I said earlier. I'll wait till I can actually see myself on the screen. You guys can just do me a favor to start with. Mention you in this. Josh, I see you're in here. I'm going to tell you. Hold on, let me mute this. Sorry, guys. Okay. So if you guys can just do me a favor and hold the comments to start with, because I got a couple things I want to go over, and I don't want to get the comments too, inundated before I get a chance to read them. So if you could hold those just for a few minutes, I want to go over a couple of things. I was going to put out some videos, but I decided instead I would wait and do the live stream, as I feel it would be a little bit more beneficial for everybody here. Now, one of the big things today, I spent a lot of time because we need to get organized. Getting access to the accounts and the money is important, yes, but it's not all about the money, as I've said from the beginning. It's about the principle of what's been done in this country and what our government has done to us and the Federal Reserve. So I'm going to start organizing some protests in different areas. I know the petition has done really good. We've got a lot of signatures on that, and you guys are awesome for that. The more signatures that we have on the petition, the quicker something will get done. So I want to catch you guys up on a couple things that happened, okay, to start with. Obviously, the most important one to mention would be the new information on Heather Tucci's arrest. And then from there, I'm going to move into a couple other things that I wanted to talk about, one being the Fed being audited, which I had pulled that up. I also set up a Zoom, and that way maybe we can start doing some video conferences and conference calls. I think that way your guys' voices can actually be heard as well, and maybe a little bit better. And then I got a couple other things to talk on, and we'll do some question and answering, so I'll get into it. So the new information on Heather Tucci's arrest. Okay, let's go down here. It was a sealed hearing. They closed up everything, locked all the doors, black pieces of wool on the window. They asked Bill, Yusuf, and Neil to leave. Attorney came out and talked to Bill and Yusuf after the hearing. Apparently, Tennessee had issued an arrest warrant for Hatjay for ? To gum up works for her. She will have an identity hearing on Monday because she refused to sign and refused to contract with them. DC jail lockup, jail until then. And that's all from Neil. He was live down there. That's the videos I was putting up earlier today for you guys on of him on Periscope. There was a couple more after that, and I saw them, but they weren't. It didn't seem like big changes. So I've actually been trying to get us all organized. I'm trying to organize us. That way we can be more efficient and do more damage with getting this truth out and hopefully correcting the problem. That's the important thing here. So there's an identity hearing on Monday for her. And then here I've got some more information for you. I'm going to play the audio of his last Periscope.
Hey guys, I'm out here in front of the federal courthouse. I'm gonna let it build up. We've been having pretty good viewership today, so obviously a lot of people are interested in this. So I'm gonna let the viewership build for a second before I update you. Oh, we got 12 folks. Let's give it another second. Anyway, again, it's Neil Wolf here. I'm at the federal courthouse up in D.C., where Heather Ann has been taken. And yeah, we got like 22 folks, so I'll move ahead. So I'm up here at the federal courthouse in D.C., where Heather Ann was having, I guess, her initial hearing. I'm not an attorney, so I guess it was, oh, I forget the name of the type of hearing it is. But anyways, her initial hearing. And one thing they did right away, the U.S. Marshals made everybody evacuate the courtroom, and that's called apparently a sealed courtroom. And of course, we strongly suspect that that was done because of, you know, Heather Ann knows exactly what she's doing legally, and they don't want the rest of us to know what she knows, even though I'm sure she's going to tell us what she did legally. So anyway, that right away is suspicious. And I asked the marshals, I'm like, what's the justification for sealing the room? You know, this is a public hearing. And he said, you know, oh, this happens all the time. And I asked him, you know, why does it happen? You know, why is this done in secrecy? He said all sorts of reasons. But I think I know the reason. The reason is they fear the knowledge that she has, and they don't want any more of us to know that knowledge than we have to. What she has done, and you know, don't be disappointed here, because I think this is her own doing, in that I guess they're going to have an identity hearing on Monday. So I believe, and you know, there's a couple other people here on her behalf. I'm not going to mention their names. I just met them. They don't know me from Adam, so they were a little reluctant to talk to me, but I think they realized I'm a good egg. So they ended up talking to me a little bit. I told them I'd wait out here a while for them because they were still waiting to complete the conversation with her attorney, who had been called back in, I think, to speak, that Heather Ann wanted to speak to her before she went back down to lockup. So I'm going to wait out here for a little while, because I said, you know, I don't want to be overbearing on these folks. They're people that are close to her, and they're upset. And, you know, they also said, hey, we don't want to make this a circus. And I said, no, I certainly can appreciate that. But at the same time, a lot of people, I think the more people that are aware of this, you know, the safer she is, the better off she is. And I think they tended to agree with that. So I'm going to wait around here for a little while and see if they want to share any more information.
That was most of the information that was pertinent. It was just about the sealed case, how they're trying to keep the public from it. So I wanted to get a chance to do that for you guys. I'm going to actually make a separate video now. This was more or less just so that we could also discuss this on this video. But what I'm going to do is make another video directing you guys to the links if you want to go and watch it yourself. And then in other news, President Trump here. I'm going to play the audio for that real quick, okay?
Today is the 6-month anniversary of his inauguration and his announcement to kill the TPP, to renegotiate NAFTA and GATT, to kill the carbon tax, to control our borders, and he's delivered in a royal flush. But the headlines from CNN and the New York Times, the Washington Post, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS is Trump doesn't get one piece of major legislation through. Trump's a failure. Trump's in shambles. Trump's under criminal investigation. And yes, he hasn't gotten any major legislation, meaning tax cuts or Obamacare repeal through, but a lot of other stuff that is actually major has gotten through, massive regulations cut, and he's gotten so much done via the executive branch because they were unconstitutionally doing most of their globalist agenda through it. He was able to turn that back on them and kill it, and then watch the economy go from sputtering and faltering and stalling, roaring back.
So I regard the Federal Reserve as one of the most transparent central banks in the world.
That's a statement. What do you fear about the audit? Give me a real-time example.
It's about transparency. It's about knowing what your government does. The Constitution gives the power to Congress to mint and coin money. We sort of transferred that power to the Federal Reserve in 1913, but I think we ought to know what they're doing. The dollar's lost 96% of its purchasing power. What does that mean? Your prices have gone up every year. What was once worth $1, is now takes $24 to buy what was once worth $1.
And that's the result of policies made at the Federal Reserve.
Absolutely. They print up the money, but it's sort of a codependency. And this is a dirty little secret. You need to have a Federal Reserve if you're going to have a $20 trillion debt. Why? They buy your debt. But they buy your debt by printing up money. So you can't have an enormous debt if you don't have a Federal Reserve printing up the money.
Just give me an example, not a general swipe of review. Just say, take, for example, this. If somebody said this, it would be horrible. It would be end of the world for the Fed. Give me an example like that.
So I would envision a situation where the GAO, at the request of members of Congress, might come in and say, at our meeting a week ago, they've taken the transcripts and reviewed what we said. They believe that the decision we made was the wrong one at that particular meeting. And I would say that's an extreme interference and politicization of our ability to make independent monetary policy.
It's true that the government.
Now, I just want to pause that real quick for you guys. Now, being that Trump has pushed for the audit of the Fed and that the Fed is getting audited, and as a matter of fact, it's funny because the wording was very similar to what I put in that petition. So I'm actually, once we get enough signatures, I'm going to try to tweet that petition to Trump as well, and that will be a huge help once they audit the Fed. If we get enough eyes on what's been going on with these accounts and the fact that they've been hiding money in our names and our social security numbers, it just shows the entire thing here. So yeah. Let me just keep going. And again, I know you guys hear Alex. This was Alex Jones. I don't personally. I pull bits and pieces off Alex Jones, but he has controlled opposition all the way.
Government Accountability Office performs a limited financial audit of parts of the Federal Reserve, but this audit is perfunctory due to the limits placed on the GAO by Congress. The U.S. Code makes several critical exceptions to the Fed's audit protocol of its most crucial activities. Number one, GAO is prohibited from examining Fed transactions or agreements with foreign governments and foreign banks. Number two, GAO is prohibited from examining all Fed actions on monetary policy matters. Number three, GAO is prohibited from auditing transactions made at the discretion of the Federal Open Market Committee. And four, GAO cannot examine any discussion or communication among or between anyone who works at the Fed about any of the activities in the first three areas. When these restrictions were originally added in the 1970s, GAO themselves testified that they, quote, could not see how they could satisfactorily audit the Federal Reserve System without the authority to examine the largest single category of financial transactions and assets that it has, unquote.
And now, the Federal Reserve announces huge increases coming in the next few months to the previous increases of the amount of money you have to pay to borrow. And as the interest increases, it's a wet blanket trying to stop the American system that empires have been trying to stop for 242 years. This is an amazing time to be alive. After 4 years of research, the next big game changer has arrived.
Okay, so as you guys heard there, the Fed will be getting audited, as I was saying, and that could be very beneficial to us. We just got to keep the pressure on, keep waking up more people, and making this movement grow. That way, when they are audited, they can't sweep this under the rug and just audit, what they do, where they fake everything. We want to keep the pressure on and get this out as much as possible. That's why, like I said, I want to try to start organizing, thus the conference call stuff I'm setting up for you guys, because we've got a really good community here, a really good family, and I think the more organized we get, the quicker we'll be able to get this all taken care of, change what's going on, change the world and our country, and build access, the accounts that were unlawfully created and filled with money for the trade of us as slaves. So the next topic, real quick, I'm going to go into is, since Josh is already in here, I was going to read his little private mail that he sent me. He said he was done. We'll see. But I wanted to explain a few things because I am not afraid to be transparent. I have been from the beginning. That's just who I am. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with OPPT or Heather. I am a patriot who I'm just putting my foot down. This is too much. I've been awake and researching and educating myself for about 5-6 years now. And once I heard about this, it immediately resonated with me, and then I went to work and looking to see, if it was in fact legitimate. And after my findings, I made a decision. Yes, it is legitimate. So for me, it's not just about the money. The money will help a lot of people who need it. There's a lot of people in this nation right now that really could use the money. They're struggling, they're hurting, and the ultimate goal is to get the funds that are in those accounts to us as it belongs rightfully. But the other aspect is pushing the message of this movement and what it's really about, which is ending the Fed, changing so this doesn't happen again, exposing all the deception, lies, all of this corporate greed. It's not just the Fed that needs to be changed. It's a lot of corporations, because as we know from the videos that I've put out for you guys and other people's videos that are out there, a couple simple searches and you can see the corporations that are buying and selling under your social security number, your QSIP number, because we are human cattle. All we are to them is a number. So his message to me was, I'm done trying to help people. They will believe what they want to believe. I know you're loving this because you finally got some subscribers. Good for you. Hopefully that GoFundMe page works for you too. What's up with that, by the way? Why do you need money? LOL, I've poked enough holes in your, I'm not going to say what the word is, but it's profane word. Don't worry, you won't hear from me again. And then he's in here hours later. But Josh, I will answer your question. No problem, man. First off, I'm trying to help people. I'm spreading a message that I found as fact from all of the facts that I accumulated and put together in my research. I am not telling people. Actually, as a matter of fact, I've been the one from the get-go saying, do not make fake credit cards and use them. Do not, I don't really think it's a smart idea to be making checks and going and writing checks. I've been trying to protect people in this movement from people that seemed like they were very iffy, that not so credible or trustworthy. And I've told everybody from the get-go, go ahead and verify the facts that I give you as well. You shouldn't take anybody's word as gospel. You should go in and make sure that what people are telling you is in fact true and that it's legitimate. So as far as that goes, no, I'm happy because people are waking up. People are waking up. This is waking people up. And if you want to suppress people waking up in truth, then that's a giant problem, man. I don't know how you could be a patriot and at the same time be trying to sweep the truth under the rug and shut down people who are, honestly and genuinely trying to help make a change and expose the lies, deception, greed, and crimes that have been perpetrated on us. I'm not one of those guys who's been pushing for people to do things that will get them in trouble. And bottom line is, Josh, no, Heather wasn't arrested for using the account. It was a warrant for Tennessee, and it's been point blank said that no, it's not related to the account. So, if an account's in our social security numbers, they can't arrest us for using an account that was put in our name and in our social security number. Now, I'm not telling it, I'm not the one who's going to be sitting here telling everybody, you know, keep paying and accruing, you know, more and more charges if it reverses. If it's reversing on you and you don't have the means to keep having that happen, then don't do it. But don't give up on the movement. Stay awake, you know, be involved, try to keep pushing this movement, sharing it, and helping people wake up so that we can make a difference. That's what it's all about. As far as the GoFundMe page goes, Josh, I set up that GoFundMe page a while ago, and I did it. If you would have read it, you would have seen it was for FOIA requests, Freedom of Information requests. Okay, it was for so I could get recorded legal advice once I get enough funds in there, because I have my own job. I'm a union carpenter, and I do that for a living. But, you know, I do have a home, and I do have, you know, dependents. I have my children. So I don't have lots of extra resources to sit there and personally put all my resources out there. So that was put there so that if people were in a position that they were able to help, then great. It could be used for that. And not to mention, it takes one 15-minute video, takes hours of research. I don't know if you realize that, Josh, but no. I'm not one of those guys who's, you know, going to Morocco and asking everybody to pay for me to go to Morocco and then, you know, leaving everybody high and dry. No, that's part of the reason why I once I started hearing the truth about OPPT, then I said, okay, wait a minute, whoa, this is a little bit funny. So I need to make sure that, you know, that's not what's really going on before I go and condone people, you know, using those methods and trusting them. I'm here to help people, point blank. That's it. Okay, and you didn't poke any holes in anything that I've put up. Everything I put up is factual. If it's not, I take it down. Okay, PayPal, I took down PayPal because people's accounts were getting locked. I took that video down. I didn't want anybody else getting hurt because they didn't listen to the next video and did not hear me say, stop with PayPal because it's going to end up getting your account locked and you might lose money or, you know, an important account that you need. So PayPal, I personally took down. One of my other videos, they locked, but that's fine. It's I'll still keep pushing the truth. I'll just do it in a better way. That's all. Anyway, so moving on from that, Harvey's site is still up. He's just he says, apologies for the inconvenience. Seems as though I am all of a sudden lacking resources. Don't worry, you know where I am. Come back and check on me later. He's got his site is just, you know, he's just getting off the ground. So you know, hopefully we can all give him some prayers that he can get everything off the ground easy, and that he doesn't get messed with, you know, any more than he already has. And there was one more thing. Oh, I'm also looking into other platforms to start doing videos on as well. So I'm in the process of trying to figure out where else I'm going to try to get another platform and start building that up. Being that there is obviously a lot of trolls out there that want to suppress the truth, even though I'm not, you know, this guy that they're trying to make me out to be. So I'm gonna start. If you guys have any suggestions on a good platform, then let me know. If you have any preferences, I'm trying to look and see which one's got like the best bandwidth, the best reputation, that kind of stuff. So now I'm gonna go over to your guys' comments, and we can talk about everything. Sorry, I just wanted to get all that out to you guys. I figured the live stream would have been a good place to do it. So, all right. If you guys have comments for me, I'm not going to go all the way back through. Like I said, I just asked for a couple minutes. So if you got a direct comment to me, do me a favor and put that comment, like put a hashtag in front of it. That way I know it's to me, okay? Oh, about the reversals too. In the email, if you guys, when you email me, if it's something about reversals, put reversal in the subject. If it's information, put information in the subject. You know, try to make it, because like I said, I want to get us all organized. I think that's the best way that we're going to make a difference, is if we're organized, we're clear, we're concise, we have our information, we know where we want to go with it, what we want to do, and we're all together. That's the best way to make an impact and make a difference. So in my email inbox, because it's getting, you know, really really full very quickly, with reversals and that kind of stuff, put reversal. If it's, you know, information that, you know, you want to give me that you think would be important to get out, put info in the subject. You know, just a basic idea pretty much of what the, you know, don't make like a big long thing where it's, you know, 10 different things in the subject. Just put, you know, clear what it is pertaining to. That way I know, and then I can see like what's, you know, really important. If it's something like breaking really important news that needs to be out, then, you know, put like, you know, star it, make it important, and put important, please read. All right, so let's take a look. Have I had anything go through so far since trying this, Josh? Yeah, I have. Okay, I see that, Michael Brand. That's the best way, actually. Yeah, you guys do that. That's great. So I'll start up here, Brad, and if you guys, if you had a comment or question ahead of that, just redo it, and then I'll see it. Is there a Facebook group? Yes, there is a Facebook group. I have it in some of my videos. I myself have to start getting more organized too. I'm like always trying to rush to get the information out, and then YouTube at the same time kind of messes with my videos, so it takes me a little bit longer to get it out. But I'm gonna start trying to, like, I'm got my notepad out, and I'm gonna make like a thing with the Facebook, the petition, both the Facebook group and then the page, the petition, and then, you know, all the pertinent information. That way I can just copy and paste it and make it very easy. What I would do is check on the next video I put out, Brad, and it will be there. I'm a union elevator constructor. Thanks for all you're doing. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Do you really think that arrest is real? I'm not too sure, honestly, because I did call, and even with it being sealed, I would imagine they still would have had some information. I mean, I called both the federal district court and then the circuit court there. So I was a little bit, I'm going to call again in the morning and record it. That way I can give you guys that information. I'm not too sure yet if it's real. I mean, I imagine so, but then again, they can fake anything. And there is some very big questions that need to be answered by OPPT and Heather and them. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for saying that, but as far as helping, you know, broadcast it to protect her and get her out, I will do that, because I will do that for anybody. It's the right thing to do. But as far as supporting them and their ideas, or I can't do that, because I've found quite a bit of information that doesn't really jive right with me. Anyone else trying Fedwire at local banks? I tried it. It didn't work for me. D-Luz. Jeremiah, start reading the archives from the Social Security Administration. I actually have. There's a lot of stuff. I've been looking down every avenue, and you guys have been great. You've been giving a lot of information. I'm kind of like torn 50-50 right now on the whole UCC thing. Like, I'm getting a lot of information on both sides, and I don't want to put anything out there until I know 100% for sure, without a doubt, you know, that yes, it's good, or no, it's not. Let's see. Where did I get the dollar amount on the power of attorney? Who do I submit the power? Well, you basically take that power of attorney, you'd keep it for your records. Whoever you're dealing with, you would submit it to. You'd also want to submit that. It depends on what you're using it for. I can do a clearer video on that if you want. You do want to submit a copy of that to, I believe, the Secretary of State, not State, Secretary of, I'm drawing a blank. You want to submit that to, I'll put a video out on that. But it's mainly for you, and you want to give that to your creditors, your lenders. So any of your lenders that you're dealing with, you would want to fax that over or certified mail it. Probably certified mail it. That way there's a receipt of copy. Data collecting for the reversals. No, I'm really not, because honestly, I don't think data collecting for the reversal is going to make a difference. I think the only thing that's going to make a difference is if we actually get organized and we really start, you know, becoming more vocal about it, i.e. the doing actual protests that will get the eye of the media, for one. Being very vocal on social media, spreading it. The more people that are awake, the quicker that they're going to have to cut it out. I mean, if you can keep, you know, you can afford to keep submitting it and trying, I would do that. Oh, I want to come out with something too that's very important that I see going around right now, and I don't think that it came from a credible source, so I want to make sure that you guys are aware of this. Somebody is now trying to put out there that you want to take your reserve location, and it's something with taking the number instead of the letter, and then using like a Bank of America or so. I personally, this is just me telling you what I personally think, I would not do that. I would not do that until we know 100% sure, because then you're opening a whole nother can of worms. You're dealing with banks that are not, you know, Treasury or Federal Reserve, and then they will turn around, and I'm pretty sure they will prosecute like so fast that you wouldn't know what hit you. So I would wait until that is actually known for sure. That's just me. You guys can, you ultimately make your own decisions. I'm just telling you from a common sense standpoint, it doesn't sound like, because there's always going to be people out there trying to send you off track and send you the wrong direction and even possibly trap you. So I would, you know, use your best logic on things. Any promising cash methods? Sorry to be that guy. No, it's not to be sorry about. I mean, even with the reversals, I'm not collecting the data. I'm looking at people's personal emails that they're telling me of their stories, and then this is the best thing I can tell you guys for reversals, and I think this is the most important thing you could honestly probably do, is call those creditors, record it. If you live in a one party consent to record, which you can look that up by Google. Go to Google, say, you know, what are the recording laws for my state? Okay. And then it'll tell you if it's one-party consent or two-party consent. If it's one-party consent, record the call. You don't even have to tell them that you're recording it. Do what I do before I get on, you know, I get to them. I say, this is Mike O'Brien. I live in a one-party consent recording state. I consent to this call. And then you have that video, okay? Save that video or send that video to, you know, minus your pertinent information, obviously. But send that video to either myself or put it up yourself, and then let me know, and I'll like your video, so you know it gets some traction, and that way people will start having, you know, you'll see more and more and more of this, and then it's going to put more heat on these creditors and lenders that are being dishonest, because if you walked in with your if you paid with your personal bank, they're never going to ask you for your banking statement. They're only doing that because the Federal Reserve is mad that people found out about these accounts. So I personally would recommend recording your call with that creditor. And first, there's two reasons, because a lot of times they will do things to kind of incriminate themselves. That's why I put up that video of how Capital One did not want me to record. So I recorded that. I called back and recorded anyway. But when you record that call, you may catch them and some of their dishonest tactics, and then at the same time you're protecting yourself, and you're taking, you know, you're getting photographic evidence or audio evidence of what your conversation that transpired, and then you know, that's more proof that yes, the accounts exist. If you can get them to, like Jasmine did, say, hey, yeah, I see the money here, which by the way, Jasmine then 2 days later, they turned around and said they don't care about what the recording says, that the money's not there. So that goes to show you just how messed up this whole thing is. Let's see, are you cash methods? Everybody's still working on that though, Apple. You know, it's only a matter of time. I've been trying different things myself. So if everybody shares the information and you know, tries their own things within the law, you know, and making sure that they're protecting themselves. And if you don't have the extra money, that if you do something and it incurs charges, then I strongly said, you know, I urge you not to do that, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from people that, oh, you know, now I don't have the money to pay it, and you know, bad things are happening as far as that. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody. Those people, I'd say wait until we actually, you know for sure we've got this figured out. The people that are able to, you know, maybe get an extra $10 charge on there, that are willing to take that chance, then yeah, you know, that's what it's all about. Even if you can't use the account, you can still participate in changing the world in this country. You know, that's the main goal. That's the main mission here. We are the resistance. That's right. Search your social security number on GMEI. Yep, I have a video up on that. The best way to get the word out, flyer something. Yeah, mass emails, flyers. You know, as I don't really like doing Facebook, and honestly, I'm gonna be. I was gonna be asking. I don't know who would be interested in, you know, helping out as like moderators or stuff on Facebook. Email me and put that in the subject line, because I'm trying to keep up the best I can, but I don't want anybody, you know, not getting the answer that they need. Go to Law Depot. I'll check that out. Vimeo, okay, for video platform. True, the money is nothing. You guys can't get cash out of this. No, I think you can get cash out of this, man. It's just a matter of making it transparent enough. It seems like too many people got complacent with just doing the UCC and AV4, and they didn't see the big picture here. The big picture here is that the gold was stolen, like literally stolen from the citizens. The Federal Reserve was illegal. It was illegal off the Constitution, and it was created by a bunch of dishonest, malintentioned bankers, and they have since basically created every war that's gone on. They have controlled and destroyed our country, and destroyed very many lives. And that's the real. I'm not just okay with AV4ing and UCCing and saying, oh, I can at least do that. No, I want change. That's what I'm about. Power of attorney, do you know a good template to use? I put a good template on there, and honestly, the power of attorney on that video, there's a link to like step by step and then what to do with it. Depending on your use, there's going to be different power of attorneys, and I probably should have put that on there. And then I'm also looking into the whole secured creditor aspect right now too. I am an energy healer. Nice. Bank bills. Most that can be done right now. I mean, there are people who have bought stuff, and there is some gold and silver places. That one bullion place, they said that it seems like they don't care. It's just you have to open an account first. I'll put that up in a video too. You have to open up an account first. You have to wait. You have to make a small purchase, and then after 30 days, they'll let you pay electronically. And the people that have bought from there haven't had any problems. I guess that company's not afraid of the Fed. Thank you, Juanita. Yeah, your work is the gold, and that's exactly it. We are what is driving this currency to actually keep any value. Oh, you guys couldn't see what I wrote? Let's see. Can you see it now? I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to wait for my screen to catch up here. And the Fed. Maybe that. There. And the Fed. That's what I wrote. Intellectual Freedom Movement South has like 100 people in it. Awesome. Oh, you're not going to jail. Ian, you're not going to jail. No, the banking corruption was the Randy guy. I think there's some mixed information being put out there. The banking corruption charges were that Randy guy. That's why he got, because he was like a whistleblower or something. He was working for, which bank was it? Wells Fargo? No, maybe Chase. He worked for a bank, and he blew the whistle, and then they tried to give banking corruption charges or something. Heather was she was detained on a warrant out of Tennessee. And I don't know. Honestly, I will be honest with you guys. If the warrant has anything to do with the information that I found regarding OPPT, I heard that they left a pretty long, disastrous trail with the followers and the people that they had in their community, as far as they, really pushed that they did some kind of free energy campaign that they were trying to push, and they asked their followers to give them like loads of money, and they bought these RVs, and then all of a sudden they, something happened and they took off to Morocco, sold the RVs, and then never followed through with any of the stuff that they had said they were going to do. That's one of the things that I'm a little concerned with, and that's why I'm trying to protect you guys, because, I personally have been I've been scammed in the past before I was woke up. I was scammed, and I don't want to see that happen to anybody, because I lost like $6 grand, and it really sucked. So, and it was like right before my kid's birthday, and I don't want to see anybody ever have to go through that. Do you know anything about the routing numbers are changing? I don't think that they're changing. I think that they're just disabling them. And then I'm also hearing that depending on, I don't see how they could disable the accounts. Somebody's saying that they're disabling accounts after you use them. I don't see how they could do that. I think that they're just disabling the routing numbers at certain times of the day. If they do change, then I will put that information up. Yes, and that is true. Heather Tucci's arrest very well may be fake. It could be fake because one thing I will say is they had absolutely nothing to do with it. They try to claim that they are the ones that started this TDA after the fact. And if you actually watch and listen to their videos, then you will hear them contradict themselves, because they said, "Oh, well, we saw Harvey's video, and then we decided that we needed to go and check it out, and then we started immediately working on this and that and this and that." So, I mean, if you actually really listen and pay attention to the videos, they directly contradict what they were saying, because they were saying that OPPT is the one that established these accounts, and that this is from their UCC filing, and that they've been working on this all along. But the truth is if you watch that first, I think it was something your value on their website, like the first one, where she's talking about how she became involved in this, and that's what's said. So it's kind of, there's a lot of contradictions, and that's why I'm looking out for you guys. Wild drama, yeah. There's a lot of wild drama. Let's see. Yeah, let me see. I'll get back down to you. So I gotta go up here, otherwise I'll get all jumbled up. I'm in New York. Telling the truth. Not a problem. That's what I'm here for. Sorry, I'm trying to find my spot because I hit the wrong button and it put me all the way at the bottom. Oh, there's a lot of comments. Okay, here we go. Yep, fake news. I worked in a shipyard building submarines. Nice. Focus, Mike. Don't be carried away by the negatives. Oh yeah, no, I'm not letting anything negative bring me down. I'm on a mission here, and I am not gonna just give up. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna try to get as many people as I can to hear and see what's going on. That's why I'm also going over the history from the gold to the Federal Reserve's inception to so on and so forth. There's more. I mean, I also want to cover some of the newer stuff. Like, I know I brought up on the changes with the Mandela effect and the Illuminati symbolism and the Masons. There's a lot of stuff I want to put out. I don't think Homeland Security is involved. That was just the FBI terrorist response unit, which that may not even be a true fact. We don't even know that's for certain. I'm wondering if it has something to do with a warrant that's been sitting from somebody that lost a lot of money when they were going around on their tour across the country. And again, I don't want to say that I'm coming right out and discrediting them. I'm just saying that there's some answers that I need, and I would like to talk to some of them. I've asked to be on a conference call with them or Google Hangout, and none of them will give me that courtesy. So. Your video, she wasn't even on the lockup list. Yeah, that was really weird, and I'm gonna call in the morning because that the guy that was doing the video, he's not even associated with them. He's just the truther that lives in the area, and he decided to go out there and try to get coverage. So I mean, unless I mean, it's very easy to fake things. So I don't want to say that that's for sure, but that's what he was saying, and he doesn't seem like he an OPP type really. Do a video on UCC filing. I am, but like I said, I'm still unsure whether or not that's the route that we should be taking. I want to make completely certain first. I'm not making the same mistake as I did with the OPPT factualized trust document, because they got to see after what I found out about OPPT. Maritime lien for your vessel. Yeah, there's other ways though to release that. That's what I'm looking at right now. There's a lot of information I'm trying to take in, and I may have a contact Secret Service. Yeah, let me know. Steve McRae, excellent. Yeah, Steve McRae's got good stuff on UV1. I may have found something off the UV1 site. Please refer to that under the video. What do you mean? What did you find? Law, watch out for the lies in the media. Yeah, that's it. Use the video power of attorney. There is a video up of the power of attorney. I'll try to do another one showing where you send it and all that. The R34 code. Yeah, see, that's what everybody's trying to say. That answer for the R34 code is doing that with those banks and all that, and like then running it through like Bank of America or something like that. And I strongly want to urge you guys to not do that. You want to wait and see what happens with that. Just because a bank says America, Bank of America, or Federal, or Trust, it does not mean that it's associated in any way with the Treasury or anything like that. So just be very careful. How can we get around? You don't. Yeah, Chris, I just talked about that. I know this is way up. Holy crap. Okay. Hey guys, you gotta use the hashtag because I gotta try to catch up. So use the hashtag if you got a direct question. Mike, it's true. Either Tucci, scam artist. We don't know for certain, but I'm just telling you guys to keep your reservations up to protect yourselves. I'm in New York. Yes, I got the Modern Money Mechanics. That was good. I got a lot of you guys have been sending me some really good stuff. Thanks for all the info. I've been paying my bills. Awesome. Saw something on YouTube about her getting arrested. I put something up asking if she got arrested. I don't know if that's what you saw. I guess somebody got mad today and said she wasn't, but who knows? That could also be, you know, maybe people just don't want it to be out, because that totally will destroy that whole lie that they've had. Beware of false media reports. Yeah, and I always double check everything. I kind of let my guard down on that factualized trust. I really thought that they were, you know, honest. And I started seeing anomalies, and I said, whoa, I gotta put the brakes on for a minute here. What type of bills have I had success with? Put 0. I had success with power utility. I had success with one of my credit cards, not Capital One. They're no good. I had success with just some smaller little stuff. I had some store cards, stuff like that. I didn't have a ton of debt though. So how long have you been using your account for? Well, I got in this, I don't know, like maybe on the 8th or 9th is when I started getting involved with the accounts. And since then, started making videos a couple days later, trying to get the word out. Consider you as a man? I hope I'm a man. Did you get the reversal of Capital One? Yeah, I already fought with them. I've got it recorded, and I got to keep fighting with them. Legal name fraud. That's it. They're stealing our names and our info. All listen, please. Raise hands for moderator. No, you email me for that. You got to email me. We'll have to work it all out. Just email me on that and put it, you know, moderator or something in the subject. Do I have to do power of attorney before I start trying to use my account? No, you don't have to. Try to get some celebrities on board with a much broader fan base. Yeah, well, that's another thing though that I brought up in one of the other live streams that I want to bring up in here as well. Is I find it very, very funny that all of these bigger YouTubers, and by bigger I mean the guys that have, you know, like 30,000 or more subscribers. None of them have even said a thing of this either in a negative way or a positive way, and I think that that's very weird. I know that they see it because those guys do see, I mean, they get info like crazy, and I'm sure some of you guys have probably even, you know, messaged them or emailed them or whatever. I think it's very weird that none of them have said anything either way, and it kind of shows, you know, until I hear one of them actually put out a video either for it or against it, I think that they might have been approached and paid off. I just think that's very, very weird, because if you're an alternative media guy and you're not even going to, you know, put that out there, that you're hiding it. You're just completely sweeping it under the rug. I mean, something this big, you would at least want to, you know, put out what's going on and maybe not, you know, go into how to do it. You know, that's just very strange to me. I think that's kind of a red flag. Although I will say I saw ODDT or ODD TV rather, Odd TV, big flat Earth guy. He's got a big Big Flat Earth channel. Really good stuff there. If you guys haven't checked it out, I suggest checking that out. He was in one of Harvey's chats. At the Rothschilds. Did I get the link that you sent me? Yeah, Brad, I did. I downloaded that. It's the same one I'm thinking of. If it's a new one, I got to check my email again. It's really getting full. Affidavit letter of support requesting creditors to send proof if there is any depart after making payment to or prior. Okay. Who is that? Enrico, email me in more detail. You abbreviated stuff, so I can't really understand that. March 9th, 1933, Senate document number 4373 Congress. Ownership of all property in the United States, a state individual so-called ownership is only by virtue of government. I found out by using my first number of my Social Security number, which is 3. I found routing number for that. Yeah, Anthony, what do you mean though? Which routing number? Are you using one of the Federal Reserve routing numbers, or I'm hoping you're not using like a Bank of America routing number. I mean, I guess nobody will know until they try it. Everybody won't know, but I just have a bad feeling about that. Tommy, that's old news. You must have missed it. Which updating site news for us can we depend on to be the most current and genuine? There's not like one, truthfully. There's a bunch. Like with the whole Heather thing, how I found out about Heather yesterday, that's because I literally, every couple seconds or minutes, even while I'm doing my research, I have like a million tabs open, and I'm you know, refreshing things. Their website, I'm going to DNR Chronicles, but DNR Chronicles, I want to say, you can't really believe everything in there. Oh, and that's one more thing I did want to tell you guys, I forgot to put in this, is if you go check out on DNR Chronicles, John McCain's got a black eye. I guess there's a lot of fighting going on there with all this medical reform, where they're going to repeal the Affordable Care Act and everything else. And then you also had, who was it? Mitch McConnell? Who is this? I think Mitch McConnell also had one. Oh, no, that was Harry Reid. They were showing Harry Reid's that had one back in 2015. I guess he got a Chinese. But again, it's hard to tell with some of those websites. I check their DNR Chronicles. I check IUV, because even though I'm unsure of their true motives and everything, they do still put out good information to keep updated with. So I can pull bits and pieces and kind of read between, you know, the real and the BS. There's also where else do I go? I mean, I've got a whole, I couldn't even read them all off to you guys, truthfully. I've got probably like several hundred pages bookmarked, and I keep a lot of tabs open. Fortunately, I do have a really good laptop. I have an Asus, so it's able to keep up with me. But there's a lot. You have to just kind of keep checking constantly. What was this one? Oh, another good one is, but she's going to have different views too. Each one's pushing their own way, and that's why I'm trying to wait to see. I want to make the best choice before I put it out there. I want to know that there's not going to be any consequences, or if there is consequences on every single one, I'd rather, you know, find out the pros and cons and then make a logical decision instead of just jumping. You know, it's like when you're going to buy a car, you don't just buy the first car that you look at. You look at all the different cars, you figure out the best option, and all in that time we can push for the reform, the change, and really try to make a difference. So the Anna von Reitz, she's got some good information that she puts out as well. But again, don't buy into any one person without researching it for yourself. Bring law. Bring law at whose? Who are you talking to, Daryl? Hope you weren't talking to me. Who is Jana, or Judge Anna Von Reitz? She's an Alaskan judge. She's a naturalist, you know, a natural woman. She does have some really good ideas, and she does have some really good information. The Rothschilds should be away with. Yeah, well, that's part of what I want. I mean, that's really part of this whole movement is ending the Rothschild monopoly, and they should honestly be put in prison along with pretty much all of the Board of Governors at the Federal Reserve and a lot of those in the shadows politicians that have been in bed with them for all that time. No reversals, all I bought have been sent here and some on the way. Awesome, Anthony. But again, Anthony, if you can do me a favor, email me your method and let me know if it was from the Federal Reserve routing list or what. That kind of stuff is good to know because then I can test it out and let people know. Will you do a video on UCC? Yeah, well, that's what I was. That's what I'm working on. But the UCC power of attorney and all that. The TEA, I think you're talking Treasury Direct. I've already said the Treasury Direct paperwork that they were pushing out has nothing to do with that trust. There is some other paperwork that I'm looking into also. I've got a lot of people giving me some really good information and good files. And as soon as I know for sure something's okay, then I'll put that out to you guys. It takes time though. Like I said, one 15-minute video takes several hours between the research. So it is very time consuming, and you know, I took some vacation time so I can be able to kind of catch up on all this stuff right now. So that's why I've been on as much. That way I can get this information out to you guys. Heather is fishier than a dirty pad. So I should use the checks. I've never said that the checks were an option. I mean, that's it's up to you in the end. I personally think that that's a bad idea. Where's Mike? I'm right here. Your social security number begins with 3 use 031. Is that off the Federal Reserve list, or is that a different routing? Andy messed up by buying those CDs and a motor coach for $500,000. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I think. Is it's a tech issue, or they are, how would you say, just temporarily taking them down. Okay, I'm gonna have to skip through some of these. If you have a really important question that you feel is really important, I'm gonna go down to the bottom here, and I haven't answered it yet. Go ahead and put it there now, okay? That way I can try to get all the big stuff. How about compromise? Make a video on all the ways you've come across that allege. Yeah, I can. Again, that's going to be very lengthy and time-consuming. That's not something that happens like even in one day. Believe it or not, it takes a lot of time to put that information out there. I'll put that out there, but I'm also going to say I haven't made any decisions yet, and that I would suggest that you wait until we know. guys, yeah. If you guys read on Christopher Fleming, but he was big with all the A4V and these accounts back a couple years back. UW credit in Illinois prove me free. Huh. You know, I was told by a friend of mine that he insisted on paying his bill by calling to certain companies he owed money to, actually doing it by the internet or website. Do you mean have we just tried calling? Is that? I mean, you could try calling. I've been pushing them. I mean, ultimately, you know, if you've paid these guys and they have the money, that's what you want to get. That's why I was saying, if you get it documented, okay, record the call and get it documented and have them say, yes, we did receive the money. In the end, that's going to help you. It's very obvious that there is still not a single news article on this whatsoever. There's nothing on CNN, on Fox, on NBC. And that's another thing that sorry, I got so much in my mind. Sometimes I forget to put it out there, but I want to, that's part of that whole protesting thing. And it's also part of, you know, getting organized and coming together. If a lot of us focus all at the same time on one news agency and we keep calling and emailing and badgering the living heck out of them, they're going to have no choice but to listen to us and do a story on it. They won't. I mean, because that's, to them, that's ratings. So as soon as they have a lot of people all calling the same place and saying the same thing, then they're going to actually look at it. Now, if it's just you or me by ourselves, they're going to be like, this person's crazy. No, don't even worry about it. But when you have a whole bunch of people and you all come together, that's the whole saying, you know, united we stand, divided we fall. So let's work together. I can help you cut down on the time it takes for editing and uploading videos. Yeah, I've actually put that out there many times. I would love to have people helping out. That's part of why I want to get the video conference calls going, so we can try to record them. I'm trying to get some different software for the laptop. So instead of using Screencast-O-Matic, try to get something that, you know, I can record it as long as I want. You know, all this stuff, I got to stay within my budget, but I'm going to try to get some different software and also have a little bit more production value for some of the other videos, where I can take clips from some of the other videos I found that are very important, put them in with my own stuff. What happened with Capital One? Capital One, I'm still fighting. I'm not giving up. I'm pretty much talking to them almost every day. Know if anyone has had any success with Citi credit cards. I personally haven't. I haven't used Citi. How does one buy CDs with this? I mean, there's people that have emailed me and said that they were, you know, their CDs went through and their accounts aren't locked. So I think it's kind of hit or miss. I think it all depends on, but I mean, eventually they will be. That's the only problem, unless they totally get overlooked. I mean, they're getting hit so hard right now. I think they're having trouble keeping up too, which is why they're temporarily disabling the routing, I believe. And they're doing that to discourage people. That's ultimately what they're doing. They're trying to discourage people, because then when they watch a video and then they try it for themselves, oh, it doesn't work. This is bull. That's why those proof videos are very important. And if you guys have your own videos or whatever, and you know that you've made, just email me and email me a link, and I'll try to like them. I think I can like them, and then that'll put it on my. I think liked videos will show on my channel or something like that. If it's not on, I'll make sure it's on. Can I add Facebook? Yeah, I haven't checked it today. I've been checking it kind of once a day. I'll be going over there to check. I've had a lot of people requesting, so I'll go through and add everybody today. Yeah, your credit score jumped. Actually, my credit score jumped too, because I had, you know, less. Everybody should have, because you have less debt. proper steps. Yeah. I'm going to try to re-upload a video. I'm not going to upload it in a way that it's going to push doing it. I'm just going to explain what's being done. That way it can help wake people up. Not for actually, not like pushing people to go and make the payments, but that what's going on with it. I'm trying to work a new one out, because at the same time I do have to also, I think it's important to protect the channel, get the message out, because if the channel goes down and then, you know, we're in the same situation that unfortunately Harvey's in right now, then that's just going to put a big monkey wrench in. That's partially why I want to get another platform, because I can put up some of those other videos and some of those other platforms, and I can send people from here to there or something like that. You take delivery of the Audi. Nice. Error code. Yeah, the reversals. I mean, I know, because I'm getting a lot of emails on reversals, and the thing that the important thing I want people to understand is that with the reversals, it's not like I don't have a magic wand to fix the reversals. The thing I would recommend is doing exactly, you know, what I was saying. Just document it, record it, and then push it. If you can, call the first time, get them to admit that they actually received the money. That's like one of the most important things you can do, is get them to admit that they've received the money. Then you want to have that documentation. You call back, record it again, saying, okay, this is in my social. You can see the account number is my social. You have my social on file. You know, that's what I was doing. Okay, that's exactly what I was doing. And I'll be honest with you, they were very obviously scared. They were. So they didn't like what they heard. I'm going, you got to work your way up the chain to get higher and higher and higher. And then eventually, more or less, they're either going to accept it, or they're going to keep fighting you, which in the end is fine, because there are suits being worked out. And that's something that I'm trying to get involved with. If I can't get involved in the ones that are already going on, I'll start my own. That's part of what the whole, you know, legal thing I was talking about was. And then, yeah, they're either going to close your account with a zero balance, and then you're good, or they're going to fight you, or, you know, they're going to say, okay, look, we'll process the payment, you know, don't do it again. And then you can say, well, if I want to do it again, I'm going to do it again because it's my account. Or you can say, you know what, I don't want to do it again, but I do want to keep raising awareness for what's going on. So that's the most important part. I think that there's a lot of people out there just kind of pushing the account, and I was guilty of that in a way in the beginning myself, because it was new, and but I also at the same time knew how important the actual movement is, and, you know, keep, you know, not focusing tunnel vision on just paying my bills, but also the overall picture, which is making a change with everything that's wrong in this country. New to the secret account. I was awake for many years too, but now I'm legal proof, Roman. Yeah, that's another thing I'm going to be doing. Like I said, it's just there's only so many hours in the day, and I'm trying to get the stuff out, and then YouTube's like screwing with me. Fortunately, they haven't really messed with me too bad. I think it's because of my approach. They can tell that I'm sharing my experiences, and I'm not, you know, pushing people to do things. I'm more providing information and facts. But the whole Roman connection and the Jesuit order, and there's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. Some of you might already know it. Some of you might not. I'm sure out of everything I'm going to put out, there's something new for everybody to learn. And then you guys, yeah, you know, you also go out and start figuring out what you want to put out and make your own videos. And we're all a family. I will definitely thumbs up it and try to help you guys get your stuff out too. More education out there for all the people that are just waking up, the better. I can help you find the free options. I have Adobe Creative Cloud, Jason, like my page so I can find you. Okay, you're talking. All right, well, so 11:45, do like 15 more minutes. And who needs to be done? See, Josh, when you're like this, you and I can get along. That's right. Okay, that's it. You can't make quick decisions on people. You know, just gotta keep an open mind. YouTube deleted your straw man vid. Why? What did they say the reason was? Saturnian worship. Look at, yeah, I actually, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with Realms. This is video name, but he's an old friend of mine going back years, and he was putting out a lot of stuff on Saturn, and I know I've actually done a lot of research on Saturn myself, and CERN's there's a lot to go over. You know what I want? For any of you new guys and gals that are like just, you know, freshly awoke, okay? In this video on the bottom, this is what I want you guys to do. Like if you haven't really had a chance to find out much about what's gone on, and you haven't, you know, this is like the first eye-opening type thing that you've had, then we'll somebody create a comment. You know, whoever the first one is gets to be the lucky first one, that says, hey, you know, this is my first time waking up or whatever, this movement. And then everybody else that's new, comment on that. And that way I have a way of being able to go back and reference. And then I can kind of, you know, I can make sure that you guys get some of the best information to help you understand what's really been going on for a long time. It's just gone, case malls. Yeah, they didn't give you a reason. They didn't lock it. See, what they do with mine is they just permanently locked it. I don't know if it's because they knew it, like they really had no right to take it down. Account got shut down saying it's a malicious site. What you were seeing on your phone, I couldn't say got locked. Oh, okay, so lock your Fidelity account. Yeah, I got my TDA account locked. That was like, I did that in the beginning. I didn't open up with that paperwork that I'm telling you guys not to. I opened a Treasury Direct account online, so I could purchase some securities with the account. And fortunately, I wasn't one of those that went out there and, you know, tried to buy $5 million and stuff. I started out small. I just did a $500 one. But I didn't use the correct routing number. I'll be honest on that. That was like right in the beginning, when we were all trying to figure everything out. I used the Des Moines instead of the main routing number. That's how we learn, though, is trial and error. You know, what we need to do is have multiple places with videos. Right. Well, that's why I got the backup channel. I haven't. I moved one video, the main video, over there. I'm gonna move some more videos over there, and then eventually, what I'm gonna do is have keep this one for the accounts, and then I'll try to put up some Illuminati symbolism and history and Mandela effect and whatever other stuff you guys want. I'll try to keep this one strictly for breaking news updates and the Social Security accounts. And then the other channel, I'll try to focus more on some of the other topics. Everything's creepy. Who's a sell-all for the Illuminati, Eddie? Talking about women. Yeah, let's not bash any gender. I mean, gotta respect each other. We're all a family. Let me see. Any success paying taxes, fines, restitutions? I paid DMV. I did pay DMV because I had a thing I had to pay for DMV to renew my my registration, and it went through. It hasn't come back yet, and that was on the 12th. So that's one of the successes I actually had. I didn't have any like outstanding taxes or fines or anything though. CERN is some creepy stuff, yeah. There's a lot more to it than that. I've been finding a lot on the jumbled up timelines based off that Mandela effect. Bet you guys never knew this, but some of you probably have. But if you ever get a chance, look up the picture of Baphomet, okay? And you'll see Baphomet has a star on his forehead. And then look up the picture of Uncle Sam, okay? And then tell me what you guys think. Let's have people type in one if they need to. GG, women are controlled. All right, Eddie, dude, come on, man. Let's not be disrespectful. We may have to start giving videos different titles so they don't get removed. Yeah, that's it. But at the same time, like the step-by-step video I had that they locked on me, I have it ripped. So that's one. I'm gonna put it on a different platform, and then I'll make a link to go over to it if people need it. First time, Mike, I ran into Harvey's feed, and now yours. Good stuff. Awesome. Welcome. PayPal was locked. They unlocked it today. I'm glad they unlocked it. How'd you just kept talking with them and they finally unlocked it for you? I don't know if he is or not. I was wondering the same thing, Brad. No, do not do the 22. The 22 that came from Airship Bank. That's flawed information. That 22 is changing your social security number. Don't change your social security number. When you're changing your social security number, then you're really putting yourself more at risk to be considered committing, fraudulent. Using your social security number is using your social security number. That's your number. You know what I mean? Using that 22, I would personally, no, I wouldn't do that. That came from Airship Bank, and she was a very obvious scam. Yeah, I think they disabled the Bank of Public Debt there. They give any additional after it was unlocked. Yeah, I'm kind of curious on that. When they unlocked your PayPal, did you just have to talk to them? What ended up happening with that? Who's thumbs down at me? Wow. Started watching yesterday with the 2-hour interview with Heather. I've watched a lot of vids since then, but I'm still lost. Yeah, I've watched all their stuff. Like I said, I haven't come to a decision, and I don't want to be misinterpreted as that I'm bashing her or whatever. I don't personally resonate with OPPT's ideas and beliefs. Now, with that, I'm not bashing her, but I will, to me, I protect my family, and it would be wrong of me to withhold information about, potential malicious intent from the past that I know about. So I'm going to protect my family and say, hey, and warn you guys, hey, there is some questions that really don't add up. So just advising a word of caution is all I'm more or less doing. Did you transfer funds, K-Smalls, with your Treasury Direct account? Or I shouldn't call it that, your secret society account. We're going to call it that because the Treasury Direct account came from OPPT. And really, I don't know why it's being called that because it has nothing to do with Treasury Direct. So did my PayPal. It told me sent money back because the bank had trouble recognizing the bank account. Paid surcharges I had in Texas, like 4K. Nice. A girl, 18, killed her kid. Oh, wow. Awful. Yeah, find outstanding stuff. Paperwork straight. Yeah, like I said, I'm trying to. There's a lot of information to go through. It's I was already doing a lot of research into the UCC filings and secured creditor. It's just a matter of there's so many different sides to every solution, and there is pros and cons from what it seems to each solution. So it's a matter of figuring out which one is better than the other one, has better odds. Mike, to be honest, I trust you a lot more. Give off a better vibe. Thank you. Appreciate that. How long have you used it before reverse? Oh, all right, I'm gonna cut in the channel feed here because it's almost 12. So what I'm gonna do is, if anybody's got a burning desire question they got to get out, do it right now. Put it the hashtag and put it down there. The info came out. Well, I mean, me personally, I found out from Harvey's video, which was an accident. I wasn't looking into that. I was actually, that's when I was looking at some of the new Mandela effect stuff that came out, and it just kind of popped up afterward. And then that was back like on the 7th or 8th, somewhere around there. And then after I saw that, it made perfect sense because I've already seen the deception. Like I said, I've been awake for about 5, 6, 7 years, probably 6 or 7 years. And once I saw that, I knew I had to go and look into it. And when I looked into it, I realized that there definitely is a lot of deception going on. Yeah. As I've said always, it doesn't matter if it's Cindy Courier with Airship Bank, if it's Heather Giraffe, Tucci Giraffe with OPPT, or if it's crypto, or if it's Harvey, or even if it's myself, you guys, the most important thing I can tell you is when anybody says anything that, you got to go and do anything, or anything involving finances or information, always go and check it out. And even just, check your facts on everything and everybody's saying anyway. Any of the videos that you're watching, hit the links. So, and don't just go to those links. Type in what it is that you were looking at and up yourself, and look at the different sides of it. Don't trust anybody at their word. You want to make sure that you can verify, or at least, because there's always going to be conflicting stuff out there, but at least see which one seems more logical. That's the most important thing. So yeah, thanks for reminding me, Brad. But yeah, it doesn't matter if it's me or anybody else. Always make sure that you guys are double checking the facts people are giving you. I think you're right there, Jay. She does seem like she's got, I think she's involved with some definitely evil stuff. I think she was controlled opposition. Not a problem, guys. Well, I'm gonna. Has anyone here got any thorough? I don't understand that. What is TG rears? Yeah, the International Bank of the World. Truthfully, I don't think they're going to be bringing the Federal Reserve Bank up on charges, because I would imagine that they're also owned by the Rothschilds, who owns the Federal Reserve, along with the Morgans and the Rockefellers. And actually, in the last stream, that's another thing I got to do a video on. Somebody gave me some information on somebody that's even higher up than all them, that's been hidden for a long time and is now just coming to light. So I'll be getting that out there too. Anyone done the process A to Z had no reversals? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who haven't had reversals, but reversals are, part of the nature of this beast. They're not just gonna, open the door and say, "Come on in." They're gonna fight, and that's the only deterrent and the only way of trying to kill, because this is viral at this point. I mean, there is a lot of people that have found out about this and tried it. So the only way that they have to try to combat that, because they can't turn around and say it's not real. I mean, they have, but they can't really come out, on video and try to say that, because then they're gonna just prove that the little bulletins that they put up, that's so that it doesn't really, and then they put these low-level people's phone numbers and say that it was them that put up these bulletins. That's to protect the big guys, so that if it really does come to the point that we're trying to make it, where everybody wakes up and then this movement really goes like overdrive, that's so those big guys, all those board of governors and the owners and all that, that's so that they can actually walk away scot-free, or so they think. That's what it's all about. This guy here. Word on Heather. Wow, there's a lot. I'm actually ending the stream now, Fred. I actually went a couple minutes over, but yeah, if you start it back over, Fred, right in the beginning, I put that up. It's right in the beginning of this video, so it'll go from this to the archive version. You'll be able to just pull it right back up. So. Has anyone here been threatened by feds? Not reversed, but threatened by jail. No, well, I haven't anyway. I have gotten some really weird emails, but that kind of goes with anytime you put out your, you put your email out on the internet. I mean, there's always crazy people, and then there's people that just want to screw with people. They think it's funny. So I don't really know. I did have that one day though, after I put up that big information, and then my phone literally, which is brand new, and I had never had a problem with it except for that day. It was the weirdest thing. My phone turned off and would not turn on. It was like totally dead. And then I could not get access to any of my emails. It was really strange. But ever since then, I really haven't. I just had some threatening emails here or there. That's about it. I know a lot of people been asking about calling me. That's why I figured instead of doing that, because I do want to protect, you know, I have a family and I want to protect them as well. It's not that I don't trust you guys with my number, but once a number gets out, then it gets out, and you know, I have to worry about my family. I can't put them in any kind of bad situation. So that's why I figured that was the workaround, is doing that conference call. We'll do that maybe once a day or every other day, or we'll work out some kind of a schedule that'll work. And you can either go on there and just do the audio, or you can have your webcam on, whatever. But I think that'll be a really good tool for us. And then we can try to get organized together. So if you guys just got in here, start it back over from the beginning. There's a lot of good information in the beginning. I kind of went over a whole bunch of stuff that I think is going to be very crucial in continuing this movement in a positive way, in making some real change. So you guys, if you haven't already subscribed, do so now. We've got a lot more stuff coming out. If you like what I'm doing, give me a like. And feel free to make sure you leave your comments down below. And all of you newbies that are just woken up, like I said, somebody start a comment, and then all of you comment on that are new, and that way I know, you know, maybe I can try to put out something. Like when I put up a very important video for newbies, they can then go to a link I'll put on that. It'll alert you guys. All right. Much love to you guys. God bless. You guys get some rest. And if anything changes, I'll put something up. Otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow.